Hello again. I wanted to give a very short exercise for breathing that I think could be helpful for people, especially if you're in a situation where you're feeling very anxious, or just maybe on the verge of feeling an anxiety attack. I used to work with a lot of different breathing techniques. For years, and there's so many different types that people can tap into, and I find that people are very individual in terms of the types of breathing exercises that they prefer that work best for them. But I stopped using a lot of them when quite a few years ago, I started seeing the research that showed that just lengthening the exhale has just as much impact on the nervous system as any of the other breathing exercises. It's easy to do. I've done this with very younger people, young teens. When you're very anxious, I find a lot of people just don't have a lot of bandwidth to focus on much else, especially when they're trying to calm themselves down. So it's really hard to think about counting the breath and counting the in breath and counting the out breath. And holding breath can also feel like suffocation if you're feeling some sense of hyperventilation when you're highly anxious. So I find lengthening the exhale, not only is it very effective at calming the nervous system, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the side of the nervous system that helps us slow down. It slows the heart rate, it brings our blood pressure down, it brings our breathing rate down. And that's the side that we want to activate when we're feeling very anxious and we're panicking. It's the sympathetic nervous system that's ramping up and it's releasing adrenaline, and our cortisol is going up, our heart rate is going up, our blood pressure is going up, and we're preparing for fight or flight. So I'm just going to do this. It's very simple. Practice with it though. And you would be surprised if you practice with it and you get familiar. When you are in a nervous situation, you will be able to do this like a master. And I've seen this with young teens when they have anxiety attacks. If you've been practicing with it for a while, it becomes very easy and second nature. So all you really do, you don't even have to change much about the breath. You're just taking an in breath. So I like to make a small closure with my mouth, like I'm sipping through a straw, and that just helps me slow the exhale even more. But I'm not changing anything about the in breath. I'm not changing anything about holding it. I'm breathing normally in, and then I'm just taking the out breath and making it longer than the in breath. Don't even worry about how many seconds it is. You just want to make it longer. And it may not be as long as what I did just there. That's fine. I've been doing it for a while and I can usually make it last a pretty long time. And I'm also calm right now. But you just want to make it longer than the inhale. So try it. Just let yourself take an inhale and then take a longer exhale. That's it. So keep practicing with it. And I found it actually fun to experiment with. See how long I can make the exhale go. Not to a point that makes me feel uncomfortable or makes me feel like I'm then gonna like have to gasp for air for the next inhale, just until it feels like I've got all the air out. But I just kept trying to practice with it and see how slow can I go with the exhale. And then sometimes I play around with it too. Like I'll do the exhale and I'll see, can I get my shoulders to lower a bit? And can I get my belly to expand when I take the in breath? Again, not taking a deeper breath, just trying to slow things down. And you'd be surprised how quickly it can work. So, again, when you're practicing a new skill, don't do it in the midst of your most panicky or anxious situation. Try it when you're less stressed. It's easier. And also, if you want to remember to practice a new skill, attach it to something else you already do every day. So that could be before you eat a meal, before you have your coffee, before you brush your teeth, before you go to bed, before you get out of bed, um, when you're driving, anytime you hit a stoplight. I used to do that sometimes actually. Attach it to something else and you pair the two together. It makes it easier. I hope you find this helpful.